While it is popular to celebrate the unlimited freedom of improv, in reality, like most modes of performance, it is usually most effective within set parameters. As Nicholas J. Zenbrecher argues, limitation in improv is not just a fact, it is essential and valuable. Much like the theatrical innovator Vsevolod Meyerhold felt that putting limitations on actors oftentimes freed them artistically by giving them very little playing space or highly stylized movement patterns, for instance. Improv has several set structures that allow players to focused freedom, the Herald being the prime example. Thus, improvisational theater itself can be divided into three main genres: short form, long form, and sketch-based improv, or what I call scriptprov. They all share several common theories, such as yes and, agreement, support your partner, and so forth, explored more fully below. But they also have sharp divisions both theoretically, and in performance. Developed in part from the theater games of Viola Spolin and Keith Johnstone, short-form improv has become the pop version of improv. The most widespread genre of improvisation, both on stage and on screen, and subsequently is thought by many to be the only version of improvisational performance. It is usually shorter in nature and heavily reliant on games and gimmicks to propel the action forward. The television shows Whose Line Is It Anyway?, Wild and Out, and Drew Carey's Improvaganza, as well as the theater chain Comedy Sports, are the most widely known examples of short-form improv in America, while Johnstone's theater sports chain is the most well-known in Canada and the United Kingdom. Long form is based on scenes and relationships and more closely resembles a one-act play or an episode of Seinfeld, 30 Rock, or The Office. Long form is often misconstrued as one long scene. Read one long, boring scene. When in fact, long form can actually consist of a collection of very short scenes. I.O. is the home of the Herald and the premier long form improv theater. But places like the Annoyance Theater, the Playground Theater, Upright Citizens Brigade, and the Groundlings all also perform long form improv. Scriptprov is written work based on or derived from improvisation, often referred to as sketch comedy, such as the performance work done at Second City, the Brave New Workshop, the Groundlings, and to an extent on Saturday Night Live. Because the Herald has perhaps been the most influential structure, especially on contemporary ensemble-based comedy, this study will focus mainly on long form. As we shall see, however, all three genres of improvisation factor into the creation, evolution, and influence of the Herald. Part of the misunderstanding of improv is the argument that only one of the above genres is real improv, when in fact all three genres are improvisation. The Herald itself is loosely structured around three divergent storylines that ultimately connect in unexpected ways. It's helpful to think of an episode of Seinfeld. Like the television show, in a Herald, three disparate stories recur in a 3x3 structure, 3 scenes, each appearing 3 times, before ultimately converging in the end. The humor comes out of the ways in which the themes, characters, and stories connect and combine, rather than from jokes. From within this framework, improvisers could then create spontaneous performances worthy of putting before an audience. In doing so, the Herald gave birth to long-form improvisational theater and sparked a 30-year explosion of improv as a legitimate genre of theatrical performance, leading Rob Kozlowski to assert that the Herald was the most important theatrical movement in Chicago in 30 years. Mike Myers, Chris Farley, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Adam McKay, and many other contemporary comedians started in Herald-based improvisation and continue to employ the style, philosophy, and aesthetic of the Herald in their current work. If we do not understand the evolution of the Herald, we cannot understand the evolution of improvisational theater or its vast influence on contemporary ensemble-based comedy.